What's up, A to Z Sports Live on a Wednesday hump day, getting closer and closer to the end of March, and we are under a month away from the NFL draft. Yesterday, we discussed the Jordan Love smoke screens, the Jeremiah Love smoke screens.
Interesting smoke screen.
Yeah, right? No kidding. And then today, it's Rueben Bain. Is Ruben Bane regaining momentum for the Titans at the 4th overall pick? We have that to discuss. We've also got the update about his upcoming visit to Nashville. It will be later this week. And then we've got another edge rusher that has visited Nashville yesterday, has done the visit to Nashville in his 30 visit, as Easton is going to be updating the 30 visit tracker on the website later on this morning. And going to have a good show. It'd be Jern asked, is Bane actually on the board at 4th overall? That's one of the levels, the layers of the conversation that we will have. So a lot to get to here. Trivia is also on the way at the end of the show. I feel very confident that we will have time for trivia. Easton and I did not have time for shade yesterday. It was a 90-minute show, all Jeremiah Love based. That's it. So pretty well. But JT, what's up? Welcome in.
What's up? What's up, A to Z crew? Good to see all of you guys this morning. Happy Wednesday morning. Hope you guys are having a good start to your morning as I am. It is officially baseball season tonight. First game, Yankees and Giants, I think. Who cares? Whoever plays the Yankees, they're probably going to win tonight. But I am so glad that baseball is back. Yeah, shove it. I don't really care. You guys can say whatever you want. I just need to be happy. Either way, we are.
I will not let my anti give a crap about baseball ruin your happiness. That's fine.
Good. Fair enough. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you guys watching with us this morning. I need a couple things from you guys before we get started. First of all, if you're watching over on YouTube, we appreciate you guys watching over there. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell notification. You good over there?
Yeah, I mean, you said baseball, and it must have been like a allergies twitch where I had to sneeze and I had to fight off there. But yeah.
Okay. Either way, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss out when we exactly go live every single weekday morning. If you're over on Facebook as well, we appreciate you guys watching over there. Hit that like button, like the show, share the show with a friend to get as many people in here as possible. Jeff says he's not hitting the like button until shade comes back. And so I say I will throw shade for 1 second and shade on Jeff for not hitting the like button. And there's the end of shade.
Jeff just wants to throw shade so he can talk about himself.
It is true. He could also just talk about himself in the chat, whatever he wants.
Anyway. Yeah. That's right. All right, let's do it officially. Welcome to the A to Z Sports here live on a Wednesday. I'm Austin Stanley. He is JT Ruhnke. We were driven by Auto Pro Nashville with Brentwood and Murfreesboro locations, and we go live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Link to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. You can follow us there at A to Z Sports. Also hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. I will also drop in the Google preferred source link, as we've been saying. Easton, I think Easton has a mock draft coming today. That's what his plan was Wednesday morning while we did the show for his new mock draft to come out. And so check that out. And you can follow A to Z Sports on Google. And so when you Google Titans mock draft, you see A to Z Sports and Easton's mock draft pop up. I also have to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for us and they help out all of you. Auto Pro Nashville, providing an assortment of multiple types of high-line luxury vehicles at competitive prices with Brentwood and Murfreesboro locations at autopronashville.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care, online at boneandjointtn.org. And Window Nation, taking advantage of their spring sale, 50% off all window styles. WindowNation.com is their website. You get a free estimate and a free visit to your home to find out how much those windows can be and how much you can save on your new windows with WindowNation.com. So shade on trees without leaves is something there. I'm cool with that right now, because as soon as those trees get leaves, they drop pollen, and I don't want any deal with that. So, all right. So a lot of discussion here as we are less than a month away from the draft. It's going to be lying season, right? I don't know how deep into lying season we are, but it's about to get really, really wacky. It's about to be that spot to where you really have to side eye anything and everything that you hear about the NFL draft and trends. And so we had I would say the most of March was a Jeremiah Love and Titans love fest, right? From not just locally.
That's one way to put it.
Not just locally, but the entire mock draft, NFL draft community was like, yeah, Jeremiah Love, Titans 4, boom. That makes a lot of sense. They just signed all these guys on defense, especially on the defensive front, traded for Jermaine Johnson. So go get Cam Ward, the best offensive player in the draft, right? And everybody's all in on that. But Rueben Bane, let's just backpedal all the way to November, when it was a guaranteed reality that the Titans sucked bad enough to have a top 5 draft pick. And they almost ruined it in December, but they hung on to it. Rueben Bane was the dude, right? Like, it was early on in September, and then as the college football season rolled on, especially in the college football playoff, Rueben Bane was the dude that was just rising. He was dominating. He was wrecking games.
Everybody was like, Bane at 4, Bane to the Titans. That we were already getting jersey swaps of old.
You had the Cam and Bane Miami connection and all that. And so there was a lot of momentum there. And then it came out of just how it's not meant to be offensive, but how like stumpy, Ruben Bane is. He's just a very strange body type for somebody who's got the abilities that he does. And what's the struggles that type of body type is going to face in the NFL in that situation? It's going to be tough. So then it kind of went away that Ruben Bane was not going to be the 4th pick. You saw the David Baileys, you saw even Sonny Styles, Carnell Tates, but mostly Jeremiah Love. But now it seems like Rueben Bane and the Titans are back in the circles, and let's just go ahead and play Todd McShay's recent mock. We played Todd McShay's intel on Jeremiah Love yesterday, and how he's not saying the Titans are in love or done at all at 4. But here is his recent mock of Rueben Bane and the Titans at 4.
So Bane is, I guess, Reese would be the first edge, but Bane ahead of some other guys, ahead of Bailey, most notably.
Bailey specifically, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You're not worried about the T-Rex arms?
I am, man. It would be 20 years. It's going to be with Rueben Bane. 20 years where a defensive edge drafted in the first round, sub 31-inch arms, right?
Yep.
And it's been 20 years in the NFL. There hasn't been one of those guys with that arm length to have double-digit sacks. I get it. And I'm not saying definitively this is the pick, but I did some deep diving and some thinking. Here's why it would be. Bailey's the easy choice, right?
Yep.
But you got Saleh coming in, and they brought in Jermaine Johnson. Tall, long, wide 9 guy.
Leaner, yeah.
Uh-huh. Isn't that David Bailey?
Yeah, it is.
And so why do I want 2 David Baileys if I can get a Bane? I can get a compliment. I can get the nastiest son of a bitch in this draft. I can get a guy who is proven, who's a culture builder, who's going to, he might have short arms, but he's going to set an edge. He's going to be vicious and ferocious. And now you got to deal with a wide 9 and a guy who's going to get you a lot of pressures, but maybe won't get you double-digit sacks, but he's going to be harassing from the other side. And he's going to be, there's something about that pick. If it's not Jeremiah Love and if it's not a wide receiver, Carnell Tate, and again, it could very easily be David Bailey, but I don't know, spidey senses. There's something about it.
I've been watching all these offensive linemen, and I can tell you that a lot of them really wish they didn't have to go against Miami and Ruben Bane this year. I mean, he ruined
Crownover's. He ruined Crownover's stock for Texas A&M.
I mean, that's just one. That's just one. Yeah, I mean, there really is. And you start to look at it, and you're looking at that tape, and forget about it. I'm not worried. I know I've talked about arm length, and here we go again. By the way, arm lengths are starting to be longer at pro days. I can't do it. I'm starting to lose my mind over the arm length thing.
I told you.
But that being said,
it's at the senior. I just can't do the arm length thing anymore, man. I know it's important, but
So there's Todd McShay and Steve Minch is his co-host on that, and Steve Minch is a offensive line ball knower, like really deep. And so when he's talking about the T-Rex arms and watching all these other linemen and ruining tape, Crown over from A&M is just like his draft. He's like a day 3 pick now because of just how brutal. And a lot of guys in the A&M there. So look, there's a lot of comments that I see in this from that video, and that we'll get to in a second. But also the fact that Reuben Bane is set to visit the Titans later on this week. That is now out there as a report. So the arm length, because I saw, let's see, a couple comments that came in here that were funny, that I wanted to get to. Where'd they go? We got Nando says, LOL, he really said T-Rex arms. Steve Minch brought up the T-Rex arms. Tiffany says T-Rex arms, diabolical. So his arms are under 31 inches long, which is like the shortest of the short arms. And then there was talk about from Minch and McShay about how, all the pro day arms, they grow. But Rueben Bane had his pro day this week at Miami. He didn't do anything. He didn't remeasure. So
isn't that funny that you talk about how length grows at pro days, and he didn't even want to even try that theory. He's so short that it was not going to make anything up, because let's be honest, people aren't going to believe that number, right? Like, you talk about lying season, stretching the imagination on some of that with the arm length. People are going to look at that and say, okay, that's not real.
Yeah. And so Cassius Howell does have shorter arms than Ruben Bane, right? But they are different players. They win differently. They're different body types. I thought this was interesting. So Ruben Bane is like 6'2", 260, right? He's a big guy, thick guy, obviously, but and short. I was listening to crap. Now I'm going to lose the host. It's going to drive me crazy. Somebody brought up that kind of reminded him of Dwight Freeney in a way, but Dwight Freeney, maybe it was LeVar Arrington. Yeah, it was LeVar Arrington mentioned Dwight Freeney and Rueben Bane in the same sentence, and the arm length. And Dwight Freeney was 6'1", with 32 plus inch arms, and Rueben Bane is 6'2", but has 2 inches shorter arms. And so when I'm looking at, and JT, you do this too. We download a bunch of images. We make graphics with a bunch of pictures and PNGs of players. I look for Rueben Bane pictures, and he does have a really strange body type. Yep. Have you picked up on that?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And because normally, and this might sound like I'm getting really into the anatomy of bodies and stuff and athletes, but we all know this. When you have a very athletic build, a muscular, quick twitch athletic build, and you have legs in particular, you've got a waist, then you have quads and hamstrings, and then it curves into the knees, and then you have calves and then a tighter ankle. We all know what that looks like, right? Horses that run fast. We see what their thighs look like and how all that. Rueben Bane is just tree trunk. It's there's no definition. There's such little difference in the width of his quad and his calf and his ankles. It's just boom. It's just tree trunk right straight down. And it's weird. It just looks strange. And it makes him look shorter than he even is. And sawed off than he even is. It's strange, right?
Yeah. First of all, I did not know that we were going to get an anatomy lesson this morning on the different types of players. That was not on my bingo card, but
you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. When you're looking at athletes, the high cut athlete, right? And let's say they're high cut, they've got long legs, their hips are up, they got maybe a shorter torso, but they're long striders, all that kind of stuff. Rueben Bane is he is a low cut athlete.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
And I wasn't describing Rueben Bane as a horse. I was saying when you're talking about legs that you can visualize the muscle definition and the angles of a horse leg, which is like really powerful muscle at the top and then thin and athletic and quick at the ankle, right? And that is not Rueben Bane. He is a tree trunk leg.
I have never seen and obviously there's a bunch of these, but a great resources site called Mock Draftable, which many people are aware of and have used it before and know what it looks like. I have never seen not only a player profile that looks like this, let alone a round one player profile that looks like Rueben Bane's. For a guy that we continue to talk about in the top 10, even top 5 conversation, to have essentially the spider web of the Mock Draftable just right there at the center like this, basically, in one shootout for weight, which is only 50 percentile, is absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. And I do think it is a testament to Rueben Bane's ability that despite just, if you were to look at this Mock Draftable compared to a bunch of other ones, you look at just some of the guys that he sort of is around in terms of comparisons. You can look at, Josiah Stewart is one from last year that very much the same type of thing for a name that people have heard of before. But like, you would just look at that Mock Draftable and be like, who is this? Is this this, just looking at the height, hand size, arm length, it's like, this guy is super, super tiny and super short and stocky. And yet for what he is able to do and what he actually looks like and how he is able to win against some of the better collegiate tackles last season is kind of where Ruben Bane kind of gets some of his flowers. That's where some of the merit comes from, because a guy with his frame, his ability, should not be able to win this well against longer armed offensive tackles and that type of competition. And I think that's the one thing that Ruben Bane continues to kind of defy the odds. Now, the big test that I still come back to, right, is the fact that will it work at the next level? I still am kind of on the fence about that. Like, he's going to have to break every single precedent. And we'll get into more of what Todd McShay said there, but in kind of,
because I want to play the Todd McShay video again, because he sold Ruben Bane really, really well.
He really did. Yeah. I think you look at what he's done, but just from the frame side of Ruben Bane, it is kind of, I continue to think it's just absolutely wild that a guy with this frame is still having the talent to be talked in this kind of circle.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and ask the question here, JT.
Sure.
Get the audience more involved. I've started some comments. We've got some super chats. So we'll start off with the super chats after the question, because they are absolutely on topic here. So the question that we're going to ask, and I'll put up a YouTube poll. You know how I love to do that. Are you currently in or out on the Titans taking Ruben Bane 4th overall? Are you currently in or out on the Titans taking Ruben Bane 4th overall? And hilariously, I spelled Ruben 2 different ways in the email today. So the one it's RUE, right?
Yes.
I struggle with UEs and EUs. It's one reason why I was really glad that Matt LaFleur did not get fired by the Packers and hired by the Titans, because that was going to mess me up forever. But are you currently in or out on Ruben Bane and the Titans at 4? But JT, first tell us what all about our great friends at the Bone and Joint Institute.
Yes, the Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. Whenever you get hurt in life, you have to know who to trust, and that's why we trust the Bone and Joint Institute, which is located in Franklin, right down I-65, with over a dozen specialists who can help you through any type of injury. They have a state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus to help your recovery and can do everything under one roof for your convenience, whether that's the clinic, testing, imaging, surgery, rehab. They have it all. Don't fumble your recovery. To schedule an appointment there or at one of their satellite locations, go to boneandjointtn.org.
Also, shout out to our title sponsor. We are driven by Auto Pro Nashville. If you're looking for that high-end vehicle, Auto Pro Nashville has 2 locations, Murfreesboro and in Brentwood. For that off-lease vehicle, that luxury vehicle that's off-lease. What does off-lease mean? It means that somebody leased the vehicle before you for 24, 36 months, something that's very short, that is a good thing because low mileage, low wear on that vehicle, but just enough for you to scoop it up at the best possible price. And Auto Pro Nashville is a place to do that. So autopronashville.com is the website. Make sure you hit that like button if you have not yet. Please like the show, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, like follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We have content all over the place. So JT, I will send you to the chat. I believe the YouTube poll is off and running. Are you in or out on the Titans drafting Ruben Bane at 4th overall? Actually, before I let you go to the in or outs, I'm going to go to the 2 super chats that are on topic here. Because Walker came in with $20. So
Thanks,
appreciate
Walker.
that, Walker, a lot. Love the show. You guys do amazing work. Again, thank you. I have 0 issue with the Titans taking Bane at 4 since he or Love are his favorite prospects. I'll be a bit concerned about the running back room if the plan is to run it back with Pollard and Spears. So, that's a fair take overall from Walker there. And then Austin Lammers comes in. There weren't any NFL tackles that Bane went against during the playoff run, which is why he went nuts. It won't work in the NFL. There is data to prove it. So outside of the A&M game, because Ohio State, right? Ohio State, maybe not NFL tackles this year, but I have a feeling that Ohio State's offensive tackles are going to be NFL players at some point. I don't know what year those tackles are off the top of my head.
Where's Jeff? Jeff probably knows.
Yeah, Jeff. I do remember Jeff talking about how the Ohio State tackles were like average or not super great this past year.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still probably very talented. So those are there's a couple of comments. So now JT, you can get to the in or outs on this,
yes.
And I'll let the poll kind of marinate a little bit.
Let's dive in. Bustin' Diamond says that he is in on Ruben Bane at 4th overall, while Curtis and Mr. Clean say they are out. Out, in. I'm out. Burning Devil says he's always been in. Brad says he's out. Cam Sail Away says out. Darius says in. Rooney says out. Jeffrey says he's only in if Jeremiah Love is out. Richard says in. Rambo says halfway in.
Can I pause you?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in my brain right now, but I messed up the YouTube poll. I said, "Are you in or out for the Titans taking Ruben Bane at 4th overall?" And I did the options are in and short. So I'm going to end that YouTube poll and redo another one because I was like,
that's a slip. That's a slip right there.
in or short.
That's crazy.
Oh man. All right. So I'm going to redo that one so you can continue.
Yeah, I will. Assad says he's out because he wants Love. Tall Texan says out if he can't score touchdowns. Well, who says that he can't force fumbles and pick them up and take them to the end zone every play? Boom. Hello Ladies says out. Meh. So we have some people who are just, don't want to participate here. Out says Mr. Clean. We need points. Out at number 4. Out. Daniel says he's just in on whoever Borgonzi picks. So he's just here for the ride. While Denise says out at 4, out. Man says in. Chris says in, but he thinks it will be Love. Curtis says the short arms plus 265. That isn't worth the 4th overall pick. Troy says he's out 1,000%. It would just be 1,000%. Justin says out. Jake says he's already set on Love. He's out on anybody else. Does not want his mind to change. So he is out on that one. Scott says out. I mean, predominantly a out crowd. It feels like like the pulse of the crowd right now says that we are out on Ruben Bane as a collective group right now in the chat.
I'm laughing at the amount of people in the chat that follow. So I thought, the in or short made total. I thought you meant it. I thought it made sense. I was like, okay, pretty funny overall on that. So let's go ahead and play the Todd McShay video one more time, because I think if you are out on Rueben Bane at 4, and neither of us have answered yet, Todd McShay does a great job, and so does Steve Minch, his co-host, a great job of selling Rueben Bane and why the short arms, while understanding the historical outlier of these short arms on this type of player, neither of them truly cares, because obviously Todd McShay mocked Rueben Bane to 4th ahead of David Bailey to the Titans here.
So Bane is, I guess, Reese would be the first edge, but Bane ahead of some other guys, ahead of Bailey, most notably.
Bailey specifically, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You're not worried about the T-Rex arms?
I am, man. It would be 20 years. I mean, it's going to be with Rueben Bane, 20 years where a defensive edge drafted in the first round, sub 31-inch arms, right?
Yep.
And it's been 20 years in the NFL. There hasn't been one of those guys with that arm length to have double-digit sacks. I get it. And I'm not saying definitively this is the pick, but I did some deep diving and some thinking. Here's why it would be. Bailey's the easy choice, right?
Yep.
But you got Saleh coming in, and they brought in Jermaine Johnson. Tall, long, wide 9 guy.
Leaner, yeah.
Uh-huh. Isn't that David Bailey?
Yeah, it is.
And so why do I want 2 David Baileys if I can get a Bane? I can get a compliment. I can get the nastiest son of a bitch in this draft. I can get a guy who is proven, who's a culture builder, who's going to, he might have short arms, but he's going to set an edge. He's going to be vicious and ferocious. And now you got to deal with a wide 9 and a guy who's going to get you a lot of pressures, but maybe won't get you double-digit sacks, but he's going to be harassing from the other side. And he's going to be, there's something about that pick. If it's not Jeremiah Love, and if it's not a wide receiver, Carnell Tate, and again, it could very easily be David Bailey, but I don't know, spidey senses. There's something about it.
I've been watching all these offensive linemen, and I can tell you that a lot of them really wish they didn't have to go against Miami and Ruben Bane this year. I mean, he made a lot of...
I mean, there's a lot of really descriptive words there, like the nastiest son of a bitch draft, right. Ferocious, powerful, harassing, just all of these words that make you go, hell yeah. Like, that's a great, like, anybody would want a player that does all those things on their team, right? But at the 4th overall pick, and I'm going to go through McShay's mock draft that led to Rueben Bane being the 4th pick to the Titans. And it was 1, Fernando Mendoza, 2, Arvell Reese to the Jets, 3, Francis Mauigoa, tackle from Miami to the Cardinals, then Rueben Bane. So still on the board, and going 5th, Jeremiah Love to the Giants, going 6th, Carnell Tate to the Browns, going 7th, Sonny Styles to the Commanders, and 8th, David Bailey to the Saints. So you've got, if you want to pair that with Todd McShay's big board, because I've got that too. Rueben Bane is the 11th player on his big board. And so he has above Rueben Bane on his big board that went after the Titans, Carnell Tate, David Bailey, Sonny Styles, and Jeremiah Love are the top 2 players on his board. So that's passing up on a lot of the better talent in the draft to take a guy because you already have Jermaine Johnson, David Bailey at home, which I don't necessarily think that's a 1-to-1 comparison. And I'd like your thoughts on that one too, JT. And Jermaine Johnson's just he's got an expiring contract at the end of the season. So I don't think that should stop the Titans, even if they were the same role, like to a T. I don't think that should stop the Titans from looking at a Jermaine Johnson copy in the draft, because
he's only on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, you might not have Jermaine Johnson in a year.
Absolutely. You're very right about McShay doing well to sell Bane at 4. to the Titans. There were a lot of descriptors there. There was a lot of things that, buzzwords that make you feel hyped and feel good maybe about a Ruben Bane pick. And yet, if you listen, the things that stick with me were a lot of pressures, but maybe not a double-digit sack guy, and a compliment. And I look at the 4th overall pick and how important it is for the Titans to get a guy who is going to be a game changer, is going to alter games and help this team win immediately, is a guy who we continue to hype up like Todd McShay just did there, saying that all of these descriptives, yet not a double-digit sack guy, and more so a compliment to what the Titans already have. Is that really worth the 4th overall pick? Because to me, it feels like you can get the same exact thing, a compliment and a guy who has a lot of pressures, but not double-digit sacks at 35 or 66. That exact archetype feels like you can get that at
day 2
round 2 or round 3.
Yeah, day 2.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I'm not saying I'm out on Rueben Bane, because once again, I go back to the measurables and I say the fact that this guy has been able to do what he did and create this amount of buzz with having that frame is very impressive. And I am rooting for the guy to absolutely go out and shatter records and beat all of the stereotypes and all of that. But at 4, when you need a guy that is going to have to change this team immediately, and I would even say bring Carnell Tate into this discussion. Like, to me, Carnell Tate does more for this team immediately than a Ruben Bane does. So even when you're looking at that at 4, a guy like, and David Bailey, that's a different conversation if you want to go edge. I personally, once again, would take David Bailey over Rueben Bane. That's just kind of my personal choice here, because I'm willing to take the safer option there. But since this is just a Rueben Bane conversation, that is the biggest thing to me, is he's a game wrecker, as he says, like in the run game, ferocious. He's this dog, yet we
harassing,
yet we
just
can't
bark at everybody.
I mean, that's kind of what Todd McShay did, yet still won't say that he can get to double-digit sacks in the NFL and is going to be a compliment. Now, the one thing I will say to people that say that they want to be in on Bane, and I think Titans Kyle said it best. He said McShay isn't wrong, and Gus Bradley did say they want both, a speed guy and a power guy. If they feel like Jermaine Johnson and Femi can be the speed guy and Bane can be the power off the edge, then maybe that's the line of thinking. And I think that's something the Titans could absolutely consider. However, I feel like you kind of get that power enough with the Bash Bros, as you've talked about them in Jeffrey and John Frank Meyer, and how they're going to rotate and give different looks to all of these different alignments up on the line of scrimmage there, to the point where it just sits to me there. Is Bane going to be that guy that does enough in year 1 immediately to take him at 4? I don't know.
Yeah, and look, Rambo says it's not just about sacks. I think we all know that. Like, I think we all are aware of that. It's absolutely. But you're talking about the 4th overall pick, and I agree with everything you just said about the luxury, the value of 4, and getting a guy who is a compliment. You said that very well. And I am out on Rueben Bane at 4, just as clear as I can be. I just don't think. I think there's just too many better. Like, if the Titans were picking where the Saints are picking, okay, sure. At 8,
yeah.
And Easton and I talked about this yesterday. I guess it was. The Titans are at 4, and because we think the Jets are going to go 1 or 2 players, the Cardinals, we truly don't know what they're going to do. But it feels like Francis Mauigoa has been the most popular pick there. The Titans could go Bane, Bailey, Love, Tate, Styles, right? If Arvell Reese is gone.
Yeah.
Or if Bailey goes 2 to the Jets, then Arvell Reese replaces Bailey in that list of 5 I just said. So the Titans have their choice of those 5. Everybody behind them is just picking off the one less option. And I think if you're the Saints, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Dolphins at 8 through 11, you're kind of just like, and then Mansard Lane enters the picture, right? Sure. As the top corner. You're kind of just cool with whoever falls. Because those teams, Saints, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, are totally fine with defensive player or Cornell Tate here, right? Or Jeremiah Love if he gets past Washington. So that's where the Titans they are the decision that starts the roll. And I just think Ruben Bane starting that run, I just don't think it adds up.
Yeah, it really does feel like he is a top 10 talent in what he does, but top 5 is just, it's still just a little rich for me, to be honest. And I understand we continue to talk about history. Like, we talk about the historical context of taking a guy in Jeremiah Love at 4 and being like, is that a smart decision? Well, is it a smart decision then to take the guy who we've never seen in the NFL ever work at 4 either? Like, I think that's also worthy of the historical context here. It's a tricky position for the Titans to be in because guess what? It is a tricky draft. It is one of the weirdest drafts that we've seen in quite some time because of the lack of blue chip players at premium positions. The fact that the best 3 players in the draft are a running back, a safety, and inside linebacker is pretty crazy and kind of throws historical context out of the window for me because it doesn't matter. It's hard to have due process in a draft like this and stick to your guns because of just what the board is playing. You have to play the board as it comes to you. And the fact that, I mean, I personally, if I was in the room, once again, I'm not passing up on the blue chip player to go for positional value and say, like, I need to stick to my guns. I would never take a running back in the top 10. I would never do any of this, right? Like, and that's, once again, that's if I was in the draft room, I would be taking the blue chip player.
Right. And then Elite Chronicle says only blue chips are Love and Styles. I think that Caleb Downs like maybe
feels like some revisionist history here, but we kind of talked about Caleb Downs. Like, I mean, for like 4 months during the season, we were like, Caleb Downs,
he's the best
player in the draft. Like,
Arvell Reese is a blue chip prospect, but I think has more to prove at his NFL edge position than there are more questions about Arvell Reese than there are about Jeremiah Love or Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs overall. I'm going to update the YouTube poll in a second, and then I got some more comments to read as well. But Chris Bynes comes in with a super chat. Could you imagine the Bane mask that could be spotted in Nissan? I am all in on that one. More comments, and I'll update the YouTube poll here in a second. But shout out to our title sponsor, driven by Auto Pro Nashville. Unleash your style at Auto Pro Nashville. Go see Hans and his team at Auto Pro Nashville in their 2 locations, Brentwood and Murfreesboro. If you're looking for that high-end luxury vehicle with that off-lease competitive price for you, Auto Pro Nashville is that spot to go because off-lease means somebody drove it around for 24, 36 months, and they wanted to turn it back in, right? So they took so good care of this vehicle, and they drove it to, like, their nice, calm drives. They're not doing errands or going, like, bumper-to-bumper traffic rides in these vehicles. So your off-lease vehicle that you're going to get at Auto Pro Nashville is perfect, right? It is gently used, as they say, at Auto Pro Nashville, and a great competitive price for you to find that car of your dreams. If they don't have it on the lot in Brentwood or Murfreesboro, Hans will go find it for you. He's got that concierge service there for you. The customer service is top-notch, just like the vehicles. AutoProNashville.com.
Hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the show and hit that bell notification as well so you don't miss out whenever we go live exactly every single weekday morning. Facebook chat, we're doing great on the like to viewership ratio. Keep up the good work. Hit that like button also on the YouTube side. I can't speak for that. I know you are probably more plugged into the YouTube side right now than I am. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. We appreciate you guys watching. It does a lot more for us than you may think.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, YouTube could stand to let's just say 25
Facebook chat is winning today.
20 by percentage, 25% of the YouTube watchers have liked the show.
Wow. Facebook chat.
Maybe 28%. Under 30. So all right. To the poll though on YouTube.
Sure.
Let's see. I believe more. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I exited the live chat. Where'd it go now?
Oh no.
What an idiot. What an idiot. There we go. Open panel.
65% say short.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the actual is.
More people have double the people have voted on the poll than have liked the show. That just doesn't add up to me. 57% out on Ruben Bane at 4, which means 43% are in. That's closer to 50-50 than I thought.
And I think that's absolutely fair. I think once again, I will not knock what Ruben Bane has been able to do and what he's able to do at the next level. Like, I think he is going to be a good player. Is he going to be elite? Is he going to be that game-wrecking pass rusher that you need because of his limitations? I don't know. When I look for an edge rusher, an elite edge rusher off the edge, and you show me his mock draftable, which I'm looking at it right now. Like, it is so close to the middle. A 10% wingspan, 10th percentile wingspan, first percentile arm length, 9th percentile hand size, 16th percentile height, and 50th percentile weight. I can't be in on that, man. If as my elite pass rusher that I need to be a game wrecker, I look at that and I just say, I don't know if I can sell me on that.
Here's a random question for you before I get to these other comments. Reuben Bane is 21 years old.
Okay.
If Akeem Mesidor was also like 21 turning 22, would Mesidor be above Bane in the draft conversation?
I think so. I mean, I think if not like right on the same level, I've started to see mocks of people thinking Akeem Mesidor could go top 20.
Because Akeem Mesidor turns 25 in 11 days.
Yeah, like I think Akeem Mesidor would be at least a top 10 lock, probably over Bane.
Bane will turn 22 week 1 of the season. That's a big difference.
It is. It's a massive difference. Absolutely.
And because one of the comments that I started was Denise said Bane had help on the D line, because Bane and Mesidor together were they were the Bash Bros of Miami, and they were fun to watch throughout that postseason run. And I don't know.
You will have no complaints from me if Akeem Mesidor falls to 35, which I don't think will happen, but like, brother, I am running up the card. I don't care about the age. Like, that is an impact player that can help now. If he was at 35,
I have a weird thing. Like, I get age matters. And I think the NBA is so obsessed with like the 18, 19-year-old prospects because they have more ceiling. And like, there's NBA players that are like, oh, happy birthday to so-and-so who's turning 25 today. I'm like, God, 25? He's been 7 years in the league. Like, it's just like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like age.
Same thing with baseball.
Yeah. Like 25 years old. If I'm drafting somebody in the NFL, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me that much because their rookie contracts. I mean, are you trying to, I get the investment. You want your first round picks to work out so well that they're with your team for 8 years on a second deal. But not every one of them has to be.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it depends on where your team's at. So if you're looking at I think if Hakeem Mesidor was a normal 22 coming out of school, he would be way higher up the board than he currently is. And I would be fascinated to see how that would look like. And maybe that's a question that Easton's doing these draft interview series presented by our friends at Lipscomb Sport Analytics. Maybe he should just ask somebody that question. If Hakeem Mesidor was Ruben Bane's age,
fascinating question.
What would the difference be overall? So, all right. So 58%.
I do want to say
on Bane.
I think about that. And I'm thinking if Mesidor is there at 35, I'm doing it age be damned. And then I think about it for a second and I'm like, his second contract would be coming in his year 30 season or his age 30 season, which is wild.
No,
29.
Yeah.
4-year
deal as a second round pick. Yeah. It'd be his age 29 season. But again, as a defensive front guy, these second year deals are 3 years? Nobody signs. Sure. I mean, Wandale had a 4-year deal. That's kind of a longer one. 4 is the max these years. It's usually 3. So you're talking about a 3-year deal for a defensive lineman, 29, 30, 31. I think that is a prime for a lot of players because that's when they're true, grown man strength coming.
No, sure. I'm just saying more narratively, your second contract happening at 29 is kind of wild after after the draft.
Oh, a good thing he's got NIL money the last couple of years to help him out with his earnings. So some more comments I wanted to bring in with Bane. Mike asked, does Bane win with a lower center of gravity? And so I think with the short arms, looking at how does he win is a important part of the conversation of can he overcome the short arms in the league? And so I know he wins with power. The guy is just freaking.
He might be the strongest person in the draft.
I was talking about his body type and how it's kind of strange. And Robbie's said, so he's like a rhino. Yeah,
kind
a
of.
rhino. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah,
he's or an ox. Even ox they don't have rhino type legs. His legs are just the same width from quad to calf. Which doesn't make it just doesn't look athletic. We all know what that looks like. We all know what an athletic leg, powerful, fast, quick twitch, lower body looks like. And Ruben Bane doesn't have it. It doesn't look that way. It's just so damn strong.
Yes.
So, I mean, what do you think about the whole winning with power and ability to overcome the short arms?
That's the one thing. If you're going, he wins by being the strongest guy on the field, having the most power on the field, which works at the college level. You put him up against, I don't know, just throwing a name out there. You put him up against Orlando Brown Jr., who was a big dude, is played at the NFL level for a long, long time. Is he winning with that power? Is that power enough to overcome the kind of trap that a lot of offensive linemen are going to put you in with having that short arms and having almost no leverage from an arm standpoint? I don't know. That's the thing. He can have so much power and dominate these tackles at the collegiate level. But when he goes up against these guys who have been around for 5-6 years in the NFL, is that power going to be enough?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting. And I feel like that's a little different though, because that's from the inside. Aaron Donald was not screaming off the edge, right? He was playing from the inside, which you don't need. That's why a lot of people think that Rueben Bane should be a 3 technique and move inside, because he could probably be that double-digit sack getter if he moved inside, because arm angle and reach and length doesn't need to be all that when you're playing on the inside.
Right. So let's just, and somebody brings up John Randall had short arms. Like John Randall was also a defensive tackle. And so just the spacing of
positions.
And why does that matter?
Attack.
You kind of hinted at it, but like if you're, and Jeffrey Simmons is the Titans 3 tech. So Reuben Bane and drafting Rueben Bain when you have Jeffrey Simmons is kind of like well, you just spent your 4th pick on a good player, but maybe redundant.
This is the answer. This is the answer. Just move
JFM outside
and Bane inside.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the answer.
But like Ruben, when you're playing inside, there's not enough. There's less space between the offensive and defensive linemen to where the hand fighting it's just closer combat from the snap, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside, because we all know how many times we watch an NFL game. You're like, that tackle is in the backfield. Like that tackle's outside foot is so far back because they're creating space. And when the tackle creates space and the tackle's got 35-inch arms and Rueben Bain's got 30-inch arms, barely not even 31-inch arms, then that extra space is all that tackle needs to do to big brother Rueben Bane and have Rueben Bane swiping at air. Like that's the exercise. Now, if Rueben Bane is so quick and strong to get in the chest plate and inside that tackle, then he can win. And Will Campbell, who's playing the tackle with short arms, he can do that because there's space, but his footwork and his hand technique has to be near perfect for him to win against longer edge players. So that's why those arms matter on the outside more than they do on the inside.
Yeah. And he could also potentially win with his bend. I mean, I've seen all of the clips of him doing the drills. Like the dude has some pretty nice bend to his game. You still just have to create some sort of leverage with your arms, and you have to be able to use your arms. You can't just not bend around the guy and push with power every single snap. Like you have to have more than that, especially to do the mundane things as an edge rusher. And he does do a lot of those things at the collegiate level. Will that work at the NFL level?
And he can do them on bags going through a drill, and it looks cool, right? It looks powerful and crazy, and his legs are kind of going all over the place. And like he uses his body type well. It's just we're talking about the Titans, the 4th overall pick, and that brings us to the next development of this draft process. So Rueben Bane is coming to Nashville later this week for his 30 visit with the Titans. A guy who just finished his 30 visit yesterday with the Titans is Zion Young, Missouri edge rusher. And I've got a video that I want to play here in a second about Zion Young that maybe helps my case a little bit. So we'll talk more about Zion Young here in a second. But first, don't forget, Window Nation is the place to go for your brand new windows for your home. Right now, windownation.com, they always have the free estimate, the free visit to your house to find out what your windows are and how you can upgrade them. But now it's 50% off all window styles. So whatever your window situation is, whatever types of windows you have, shapes, sizes, all that, 50% off the whole kit and caboodle right there with Window Nation. You're going to save thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with Window Nation. They have so many different financing options. Like you could get 0% financing for up to 2 years, but there's so many different options that you can do for whatever might fit you. 0% for up to 2 years might not be the best call for you. I know in April, it could be up to 5 years for 0% financing. But there could be other things that Window Nation has up their sleeve that is a perfect spot for your situation. So check them out online, windownation.com. We had the Window Nation windows installed in our house right before Thanksgiving. That had a great deal last fall, buy 2, get 2 free. But now 50% off is better because we had an odd number of windows in our house. So we had one of them that was full price technically. But we still save so much money on our windows compared to other outlets here in the market. Windownation.com is where to go.
Hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the show. Appreciate you guys all doing that. JR bringing back that meme when I called the windows Windu. Windu Nation. Gotta love them. Shout out to them as well. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the show. Yeah, we can get into your guy who's right below me on the screen right there.
He's my guy officially.
I mean,
Zion Young officially my guy.
You talk a lot about him. Like,
okay,
I don't. Come on, you cannot talk as much as you talk about Zion Young and draft him in all of your mocks as much as you do and not call him one of your guys.
That's fine. I will take it. I will take it. So, all right.
That'd be crazy if you did not say he was one of your guys.
So why is he one of my guys? So this was Friday. Easton and I, we had 10 players that we wanted to rank for the 35th overall pick. We only kept it at 3 positions because I think we could do this again leading up to the draft and include interior offensive linemen, include maybe a couple of off-ball linebackers in that to change it up a little bit and maybe shave a couple players off the back end of this. But we did wide receivers, corners, edge. 10 players that we think are 35th pick options potentially and ranking them 1 through 10. I ranked them 1 through 10. And so here were my 10 guys. And Omar Cooper Jr. is 1. Colton Hood, corner from Tennessee, is 2. Casey Concepcion from A&M, wide receiver, is 4. Zion Young, edge, Missouri, is 4. 4 for me with Casey at 3. And ahead of Mason Thomas, ahead of San Diego State corner Chris Johnson, ahead of Tennessee wide receiver Chris Brazel, TJ Parker, the edge at Clemson, Denzel Boston, and Brandon Cisse round out my 10 rankings. And you can go back and watch the full video from Friday if you want to on the YouTube channel and see the reasoning for all this. But having Zion, huh?
I said I missed this. Denzel Boston at where on this list? Behind who? I'm gonna have to go rewatch that to listen to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you why. Right. But I had Zion Young as the top edge of this group, and Easton was shocked. Ryan Roberts was like, "Whoa, I didn't know Austin loved Zion Young so much."
That's what he's got to be one of your guys. He's an Austin Stanley, my guy. He has. And so
when Easton and I do our dueling mock draft show, that's currently penciled in for Friday, unless some news happens that bounces that. I got to the 35th overall pick, and I was like, you know what? I kind of have to follow my list, right? Like I have to go through my pecking order, and on that situation, Omar Cooper Jr. went 34, right in front of my nose. And then Colton Hood was gone. KC was gone. So I took Zion Young at 35 because that was the point of the exercise, was having the pecking order for the top guy available on that list is the pick. And so I went Zion Young 35. And then I was listening Monday night. Yeah. Monday night, I watched the NFL Stock Exchange. They did a 2-round mock draft, and I was curious to see what they did. They did a top 36 mock draft because they wanted to do something for the Raiders at 36, which makes sense. So they kind of phoned in the Titans pick at 35, so that doesn't matter. But here's what they did with Zion Young that I sent you guys, and I was like, see, look at this.
But Zion Young is, in my opinion, one of the best edge players in this draft. He's elite against the run. He got so much better rushing the passer this year. He's got power. He's got inside counters. He plays 120%. It feels like every single play. He's tough. He's a 3-down edge defender. I love this for the Bears. I come back to this pick, honestly, quite often.
I'm fully with you on this, Connor. Everything you just said, I'm like in sync with you. As a Packers fan, Zion Young is like the guy I do not want to see the Bears get. I think he fits them perfectly. This is like exactly the range I have him. He would come, like he'd be my next edge off the board. So like saw that similarly.
And I was at 25 over.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got some big time validity to my Zion Young feels right there, because that was ahead of, I want to say that was ahead of Mason Thomas, ahead of TJ Parker. Zion Young, and this is, what I said on the Friday show, I will tell you this part, but I will let you guys go find out the Denzel Boston reasoning if you missed the show on Friday. Zion Young, I said, is a top run defender. He is a big, huge freaking dude that has upside and the want to grow into a pass rusher, and I want Robert Saleh to do that. And so I think Zion Young at 35 is my favorite of those three edge defenders, where TJ Parker might be the highest floor of the three. And then you've got Mason Thomas that is more of your pure edge pass rusher. And then Zion Young, I think, can be the best overall player in year 2. And that's what I think you're looking for the 35th pick, is who's going to be the best overall guy, 3 downs, that's got all the ceiling ahead of him. I was told by an NFL scout before Friday's show that helped me switch that he is that he has his best football ahead of him.
I don't disagree with that. Very impressive. Probably was one of the best, if not the best edge rusher at the Senior Bowl. Certainly was on my radar then and has continued to be on the radar. Someone brings up a great point here. Malachi says you can't teach 6'5". I think he officially came in at like 6'6" on his measurements, which is 93rd percentile on 6'6", which on our athletic testing and measurements here, it's 95th percentile. In the mock draft, it's 93rd, so very high up there on that one. Don't have a lot of testing numbers on him yet either, so that's something. But like from a build, totally different build from Rueben Bane there. And you talk about the things that he does very well. Once again, a very big standout in the run game. Has a wide range of tools in his toolkit that he can use to rush against the passer. You talk about a guy who probably has some of his best football ahead of him. Sounds like a guy who, so what if he's not this all-star edge rusher? To go back to what Todd McShay said, what do the Titans really need on that edge in that pass rushing room right now? Compliments to their guys. And I think a guy like Zion Young would be a perfect compliment that you can, and maybe it's not Zion Young because like you said, he is seeming to get some buzz in the late back half of the first round. We'll see what happens, because someone the other day I was listening to kind of said it best that like after pick 15, there's a lot of like picks 15 to maybe 65. Like 50 picks there. Oh, did you say that? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I was listening to the show.
No, we were talking on the phone.
Okay. Yeah. Like they're 50. Yeah. A great draft person that I was listening to. Once said, like, I do kind of subscribe to the idea that like the next 50 picks, I have no idea where they're going to go, because I think truly in this draft, people are going to have such different boards. And so like, could Zion Young be the guy that we say, whoa, goes at 26? Could he be there at 35? Could R. Mason Thomas? Could TJ Parker? Like, I have no idea where these guys are.
Lawrence.
Exactly. Where's anybody going to like, I'm not going to rule out that Zion Young is a guy that goes in the top 32. I won't rule it out that he's still there at 45. And I'm saying, man, people are just not seeming to kind of see the same thing we saw with Zion Young. And I think that's going to totally be fair because of how weird this draft is. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Last thing we say, actually, I got a super chat. So Chris Bryan says, my biggest fear is that Ruben Bane is Courtney Brown. So I had to get that out. But the last thing I'll say, and then we'll flip to trivia. This most recent conversation, the last couple minutes of picks 15 or 70 or whatever, are going to be just a dealer's choice kind of deal, like pick your flavor. And it could be all over the place, which is why I still think in doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, I will live by this.
I think at this point you're quintupling down.
Quintupling down. Jeremiah 4 is the smartest pick for the Titans to play this draft class the best way possible. Because just like you said, what if R. Mason Thomas, Zion Young, Malachi Lawrence, TJ Parker, Cash Sowell, all these edge rushers go from like 17 to 34? Then awesome. A receiver fell to you at 35. Cool. Take them. Or the receivers go, great. An edge fell to you at 35. Take them. But if you draft David Bailey at 4 and all the receivers go, and then you're at 35 and you're like, all right, I guess we'll pick somebody. You're not playing the strength of the class. That is what the strength of the class does. And Jeremiah Love keeps giving you the flexibility to do that. And then at 66, the same thing, because that's when the interior linemen really enter the picture at 66, along with inside linebacker, still some edge, still some wide receiver options at 66. Because Mr. Clean brings up, what about Pregnon at falls 35? You could totally, if you go Jeremiah Love at 4, you could totally go Pregnon at 35. Then you might find Derek Moore out of Michigan at 66. Or this guy who's not getting any love. Joshua Joseph, another Tennessee guy at 66. Or wide receiver Ted Hurst at 66. There's so many things. There's the day 2 is where you can find your value. And if you do an edge at 4, you're not going to maximize your value on day 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, I subscribe to that. Absolutely. It is one of because you take, they're the opposite of this. Like you said, you take a Ruben Bane or a David Bailey at 4, and then you get to, let's say there's a run on receivers, which happens every single year. Let's say a lot of the guards go, and then you're sitting there at 35 with 5 edge rushers on the board at the top of your board. Are you going, and maybe this is a case where people aren't wanting to trade up to get these edge rushers because there's so many of them. You're kind of stuck having to reach then at 35 instead of being able to navigate the draft a little differently. I think that's one of the best ways to optimize it for sure. Now I will say the one person I will continue if I have to double down. We talked about all of these guys that could go anywhere from 15 to 65 or whatever. The one guy that will not be there at 35, I will still double down on, is Omar Cooper. I will still not have. I saw that on your top 10. I will not have this conversation.
That's why he's number 1.
He will not be there. He will not be
number
there.
1. He's number 1.
Yeah, sure.
But in the world that he is, I'm going to have him at the top.
Listen, if we get to night 2 of the draft and Omar Cooper's there and the Titans take Omar Cooper and people are clowning me, it's a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have, It's fine with me. I will take that L for people to be happy about that because I'd be happy about that.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Let's see if we can do a little sports trivia time. All right. Sports trivia time. Sorry, my computer browser glitched or something like that, so I did not even see the whole thing play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know it didn't even play for me. I just
not a great sign for trivia to start.
Yeah, let's see how long it takes me to share my screen if we want to do that. So, shout out to yeah.
I was gonna say hit that like button. Make
sure
you subscribe.
Yeah, like the show. Shout out Auto Pro Nashville. I'm sharing my screen now, JT. If you want to.
I don't know.
Be ready. So it was kind of faster than normal. 3.5.
Oh boy. Where's Bustin?
I also agree with Brad. Fun chat today.
It was good. It was good. It was a good discussion today.
Yesterday was also crazy.
Was it really? Maybe people just got crazy things going on in their lives.
Easton and I, we went 90 minutes on Jeremiah Love, basically, and did not run out of things to say. We could have continued going. All right. 3.5 is the over-under. Let's do it. All right. Clean reading for me. All right. Here we go. NFL. Who is the final quarterback to start an NFL game coached by Bill Parcells? Tony Romo? That seems too easy.
Man, I got nothing.
Drew Bledsoe?
I was probably like 4.
No. He was a Cowboys coach I think it's Romo.
Sure.
He was a Cowboys coach I think Tony Romo. That's
what, in 08?
Right? Something like that. Maybe. Okay,
find out. I was 8.
Science. Neptune's atmosphere mostly consists of 2 elements that begin with the same letter. One of which is this noble gas element that makes up 16 to 22% of the atmosphere. Ooh, this is a tough one.
Nitrogen. And no. Hydrogen and helium. That makes sense. No, nitrogen is I think one of them is, I think it's hydrogen.
Yeah, because there ain't no way the atmosphere is 20% helium. That would be wild. Oh no.
Yikes.
Television. Following a Wyoming sheriff, this cult favorite neo-Western crime drama starring Robert Taylor, Kate Stackhoff, and Lou Diamond Phillips ran on A&E Netflix from 12 to 17. I don't know.
Neo-Western crime drama. Longmire? I've never heard of it. Sure.
All right. Movies. Matt Damon narrated this O2 DreamWorks animated film following a horse. A lot of horse talk.
Spirit. See, I was like 4 when I watched this movie. This is what I was doing when I was 4.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Stallion of the Cimarron. I bet that's it.
Which one?
It's Spirit. Yeah, that one. Do that.
Okay.
That's what I was watching when I was.
The number one song in the Billboard End of the Year 100 of this 2022 Glass Animal song features the lyrics, "Sometimes all I think about is you, late nights in the middle of June."
Heat Waves.
Oh yeah.
Heat Waves have been faking me out or stressing me out. I don't know.
Yep.
What it is. Something like that.
Chain restaurants. With its logo being chopsticks going into a bento box next to its name, this Japanese fast casual chain specializes in teriyaki dishes, bento boxes, and sushi. Hot walk?
Well, sure. I have no idea.
I'm waiting on the chat.
No idea.
Sarku?
What is a sarku?
That's correct. NBA. Who is the most recent team to miss the playoffs the year directly after winning the NBA championship? I don't know because I haven't watched the NBA and
Bucks
pre-COVID. The Buck, no.
Sonics. It's not the Lakers, is it?
It could be
the Lakers. Did the Lakers mix in 2021 after they won?
The Lakers, yeah, after the bubble title.
I feel like that narratively makes sense.
Lakers COVID ship, as frustrated mime says.
My best.
Wrong.
Okay.
College football. Torrey Smith, Stephon Diggs, each played wide receiver at what current day Big Ten school during the 2010s? Do you know this one, JT?
No. Maryland. All right. Well,
Celebrity mashup. That is the guy from Home Improvement on the outside. I think. No, maybe not.
Man, this is a stupid board today. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Tough.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, man. Billy Crystal.
Ooh, that could, yeah, I could see Billy Crystal right there.
I can see that. I have no idea on the middle. Diane Lane.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds
sure. This trivia today is chopped. This is so chopped.
Oh, that was correct. So you want to go science or NBA?
Let's do science. Let's go. Let's try the other one.
So helium.
So like
okay.
Who cares?
That was right. It was right. Helium. Oh, look at the NBA 2%.
So it has to be someone that like. Who is it?
The Bulls in 97.
Someone did say that. Who
yes. Said that? I'm scrolling back up to see who said that. Orlando.
Damn. This board was so chopped. This board was chopped.
Man,
that's crazy. Every team since then has made the playoffs after the year. There's no like fall off. That's why
honestly, look at this. This is the hardest board we've ever had.
Yeah, man.
2%. Yeah,
only 20% of people know Spirit. We got to learn ball.
Yeah, what's
a Sarku?
I don't know.
No idea.
35% of the NFL has got to be a low.
Yeah, man, this is crazy.
And no, I wasn't thinking of Tim Allen. I was thinking of the his co-host on Home Improvement instead of Billy Crystal. But anyway, man, that's nuts. That was tough. I'd say we did it pretty well considering that board. But all right, guys, hit that like button, like the show. We'll see you guys. We'll Buck live tonight for prime time. It'll be a third string Thursday tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys bring it to JT and Easton. Catch you guys later. Appreciate it as always. Thanks.